there we go. We are going to be going into the draft here for game number 2. It is going to be, ladies and gentlemen, on Dragonshire. Here, game number 2, Resurgence versus THC in the round of 32 here at the Blizzard Spring Qualifier number 1. Jaina going to be banned out right out the gates. I think that's going to be prioritization of Zagara Thrall. They baiting on a Zagara ban with the first pick Thrall on THC's favor here. I think Resurgence is going to predict this and ban otherwise. I think it's going to be a Kael'thas ban.
I think Kael'thas ban would be a great ban here. It wouldn't surprise me if we saw a Kael'thas or a Tyrande ban, but I completely agree with you. I think both teams, while they're banning, are completely pointing away from Zagara when we know factually that Resurgence wants to get Zagara in the hands of Shot again. Fantastic Moz the last few games that we watched, and I know that THC does not want to give them that Zagara, and there is the Tyrande ban.
All right, so now is it going to be a Zagara or a Thrall pickup here?
If I'm THC...
Kael'thas, nope, Chuck Testa. Here it comes. All right, so then Resurgence, do they want to respond? They're more comfortable with Shot on Zagara, I'm guessing. So I figure that's what they're going to go with. Okay, there is a crazy draft strategy on this map where you actually take Zag and Thrall at the same time, which they would have to do here probably to get away with it. And what you do is ran Zag on the bottom lane to dominate that 1v1 and Thrall to win the top lane, and then you run a 3-man gang squad. It's not a common strategy, but it's one to keep in mind here during this draft.
You know what? I would like to see that. I think that if you take Zagara and Thrall, that takes away the answers kind of to both. So if you can hold both of them and they can hold their individual lanes, I'd love to see a 3-man gang squad. And we do have one half of that. It looks like Zagara being hovered here. And if she's chosen, it wouldn't surprise me.
The Thrall hype. Oh, no. Okay, the false stats. So that is something that with the Divergent Gaming Amateur tournaments I have seen as a habit. Not a habit. Pattern shown through them is they very much prioritize the global there. Thrall going to be picked up for THC. No surprise. Going to be in the top lane versus that Zag. Falstad's global just makes Dragonshire, especially post 20 with his epic mount, so difficult to lose a Dragon Knight. At least it's very easy to gain one and hard to lose one for Resurgence. And in the late game, that dictates who wins the game. So Vala pickup as well. With the Jaina ban, I like it. It's one of the better wave clears in the early game. They're very much worried about their 4-man rotation. Sylvanas is another option in that area where she doesn't totally excel without, even with Barb Shot until she gets level 7, though, with the unstable poison. So Vala's probably with the W build here to help with that wave clear. I like it. I think we're going to see prioritization of Jaina, or not Jaina, excuse me, Johanna. The Johanna. She's going to come out in these next couple of picks and bans here for the teams, because now that both teams have a pretty well-established top laner, I think everybody's worried about who's going to win the 4-man. Right now, wave clear definitely falls in favor of Vala and Kael'thas, but keep in mind THC had, obviously, for the first half of the draft, an advantage by being able to pick 3 versus 2 heroes. So let's see how this plays out.
Looks like Uther is going to be the ban from Resurgence, and THC, I'm interested to see if they choose to get a tank or a healer here. I feel like if they are going to ban out a tank, last time around the ban that we saw on the tank was ETC. But I'm interested to see which direction they decide to go here. Who do you think THC is going to ban out? Oh, actually, a respect ban for Zeratul?
I like it. I like it. Honestly, I do. It works really well with our composition. Zeratul was going to be the melee at the same time. And now with the... Okay, so here's the thing. With Zagara going to the top lane, that means that no other melee assassin is likely going to be picked for Resurgence except for one that can win in rotations and kills. Banning Zeratul, I'm going to put my money on Kerrigan. I'm going to be totally honest. The Uther ban, though, was a counter ban to themselves if that's the strat they want to go with. So I know Equinox really likes that. But if they're going to run a melee assassin now at this point, I don't think it'll be Sonya. It is possible. It is possible. With the Jaina banned out, it's going to make her really weak in that 4-1, though. But that ban was absolutely beautiful. Because of the Zagara pickup making the top lane a little bit different there. There's the Johanna prioritization I was talking about there. By the way, the ETC ban did come out of Resurgence in fear of that. I think that's because THC just overall likes ETC when synergizing with a Thrall. So I wouldn't doubt that they picked that up. At the same time, THC needs to be very worried about the wave clear still in that 4-man rotation. That was just a draft play right there that I think a lot of people probably won't appreciate as much as I would, but it was that was really awesome to experience that.
You know, we say that, but having seen Equinox on that Zeratul previously, like I don't think anyone who was watching the stream earlier is questioning why THC would ban that Zeratul out. If THC knows what Equinox is capable of on that Zeratul, they may have given themselves a second life in this particular game, because if you let him get that on Dragonshire, you're really setting yourself up.
Josheb, I've got $5 on Kerrigan.
$5 on Kerrigan for Resurgence?
Yes.
You know, just because Well, no, I'm going to refuse that bet because you were a former pro player, and the best game that I'm
No,
good at
no, no,
is.
no, 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 no. You should take it. I might be. I haven't seen Equinox play in a very long time. I know
Listen,
melee assassins are his go-to. He could go Sonya. He totally could go Sonya. He could even play a range. He's a very diverse player. He is a professional player. And he's been playing this game a very, very long time. He's obviously got a diverse hero pool. Why would you let me narrow it in? Like that's a winning bet.
okay,
I've got
well,
one out of
here's the
32
thing.
here.
I can't
Hello?
afford the $5 because I have to buy another hamster
Okay,
as soon as the
Monopoly
stream is
money.
over, and I don't have the ability to pick that bet.
Okay, Monopoly money.
Okay, fair enough.
Five Monopoly. All right, Diablo picked up here. Will it be no Toronto option? What support? Karzim, medic,
We're gonna see a
Morales?
medic. We're gonna see a medic.
I think I like Malfurion a little bit better here.
They don't care what you
Morales,
like.
okay.
They pick up
Yeah.
Morales, and
Here
in
comes the
response,
Kerrigan.
Resurgence is gonna pick up Sonya
No,
or
Stitches. No,
Oh!
I want the Kerrigan. I want
Oh,
the Kerrigan. I
son,
want the
guess
Kerrigan,
what? With
please.
that pickup on Stitches, I'm gonna get Park Place and Boardwalk, and you are gonna owe me a
dang.
fair amount of Skrilla.
All right. Well, Equinox decided to pull away from it. The reason that Morales, okay, so like I said, obviously he's a great Kerrigan player. He's been known for some time, but then also with Morales being picked up, it's kind of like a just go in and face roll them. At the same time, it's not like Morales is dominant in the meta right now. She is kind of the inferior melee assassin comparative to the obviously big three: Thrall, Sonya, Zeratul, and then also double tank right now with the Stitches buffs as well. It makes a double tank really well. So I like the Stitches pickup. He's been seen in kind of these double tanks. He's kind of viewed as kind of like a Leoric-ish right now. Usually he can run solo tank, but he's good in the double tank as well. And so I like him as this kind of bruiser role that he's going to fill here. But just for the sake of just the combos, I felt like I really wanted to see that Kerrigan.
No, we definitely know that you wanted to see that Kerrigan. I personally,
five Monopoly dollars worth of it.
I personally knew it was going to be the Stitches the entire time, and I was going back to my past as a professional Jenga player to make that prediction.
and I'm really excited about seeing Stitches here. I don't think we get to see enough Stitches, and when you see Stitches hit the sick hooks, I get so hyped. I can't even describe it. I'm gonna have to set up a noise gate because there's gonna be a lot of screaming about, oh, look at the hook. But I'll spare you guys that for now.
Okay, so if you're Resurgence right now and you're on Stitches, what do you do when it comes to Ultimate? Are you going Gorge? Or are you going Bile? What's your game plan here?
I feel like Bile is in general superior. I feel like it has a lot more utility. Once the gates are down, I feel like it can be difficult to get full value out of the Gorges. But it wouldn't surprise me to see a Gorge. I mean, Zagara has the ability to lock multiple people down with Maul. If you want to follow that up with Bile, I feel like that would be the superior play, though, if you're going to try and wombo somebody.
Yeah, if you think about the zoning tools, they have Gust. They also have Maw, so I think Gorge does definitely have an opportunity here. Also, Morales is generally susceptible to a Gorge if she gets Gorge, but then also that Gorge is just overall right now. It's a just really strong choice. I do most of the time against Thralls. Typically, do not like Gorge, mainly because if you do Gorge somebody and Asunder just instantly comes out, you essentially lost all the value in your Gorge. But that enough of a misposition might be enough to kill a Morales if the hook is there and everything else. I do like Bile a lot, but at the same time, like I said, I feel like as long as it's used well, I think they can get away with a Gorge here in the style comp. So interesting choice. I'm going to put money on Gorge, but I think Bile, both have good arguments, which is kind of rare in most comps.
I think something we both can agree on is that no matter what happens, Stitches can provide some gorgeous play. What I did there, Dread, was a play on words about the ultimate Gorge, and I attached Gorge.
Oh, was that what that was?
Did you catch that?
No. Hello?
I'm making some pro plays today as far as the
I'm
funds
also
go.
I'm sorry. I should probably not act naive whenever you do things like that because I just like kill all your momentum like in 5 seconds here. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen.
Totally
but here
fine.
we go. We are going into game number 2 here on Dragonshire between Resurgence and THC, which THC did end up falling game number 1 here. So Resurgence whoop 1-0. This could be match point here in favor of Resurgence. And honestly, it's going to be a really awesome game. I think just off the draft, I didn't say where my money is, but I'm going to put it on Resurgence for the most part with their comp. And here we go. Shot is going to be on that Zagara on the left-hand side. Johanna is going to be played by Daihu. Rixie is going to be once more on that Rhaegar. Equinox is going to be playing the Stitches, and Killick is going to be on that that false stand.
Over in the red trunks, you got Calabunga on Thrall yet again. Charismatic is going to be on Diablo. We have Kawhi Rice on the Vala player. Amnesty is going to be on Kael'thas. And we have Elohim, of course, on the Medic.
Yeah, and they're going to go up there, protect their Zagara, lay down the creep as best they can right out the gate. It's really smart from Resurgence here, trying to maximize the early game value they can possibly get out of the Zagara. Influence of this game. They know they don't want to really take this fight on the level 1. Zagara now rotating down. She's going to actually decide to... Oh, she's staying halfway in the spread. She's going to go down there. Interesting choice from her. They are going to lose a little bit of XP. Johanna getting flipped everywhere.
Oh, my goodness. Johanna went for a roller coaster ride, and it ended with her decapitation. Johanna quickly dispatched. She did not have control of her character, maybe for like 2 seconds in that whole engagement, but when it was all said and done, she ragdolled.
No, yeah, she burnt her passive pretty early there, and it was just kind of plowed through, which led to them being able to change the CC there against her. Really well done from THC, establishing dominance here. They do have, honestly, the superior wave clear with the Vala Kael'thas pickup there. They do have enough wave clear to out-rotate their opponents here. So, and the double tank picked up from... Resurgence essentially is saying that they aren't going to do that well in that rotation. Keep in mind, Shot's going to be winning the top lane right here, and that was a beautiful decision making. Don't know if you caught that.
On Thrall up at the top. Yeah, I definitely did see the fly up there from from Falstad. It looks down the bottom. We have some more action here. Teams kind of poking at each other, trying to protect that last tower. But as we go into the first Dragon Knight phase, it does look like the THC is going to be able to hold the bottom for a moment, but Resurgence is going to be able to take it over.
Yeah, and so they're going to be trying to keep up these rotations and winning elsewhere. That one pick on top is going to hurt them, THC, but it's not going to hurt that bad. What they really want to be looking to do here is just win the 4-man rotations. And as long as they can do well in those two, like they have on bottom, already a turret down, the other one drained. As long as they can keep that up properly, 1 to 2 kills on top isn't going to be the end of the world for them. Thrall trying to bully out Shot here on top. So just keeping up what they're doing is very well done, but Charismatic in the mid lane.
Yeah, it looks like he's a little outgunned with the 3v1 there, but he is able to walk away. Fortunately, the large health pool of Diablo does enable him to make those plays. Falstad coming up to try and single out Thrall here. Looks like they are going to be able to maybe pick up the kill. They do indeed with that last lightning strike from Falstad, but he's going to have to barrel roll to get out. Now he has no escape.
Yeah, and that came down to being played exactly like we were talking about when it came down to the Zeratul and whether or not we were going to see Zeratul in this match, where the pickup was the ban and everything else. Every time the Thrall goes up to clear the W off of Zagara, Falstad just goes, okay, I'm going to fly top and then just bully them out of lane. So really well done there. Trying to make sure the Shot is got a much more dominant laning phase in the top lane, while his opponents may be losing or winning the other parts of the map. They are only getting a front wall here, going for the fort here. Interesting choice not to take the front wall. It's going to be very difficult for them to get the keep. So losing a front wall XP possibly here on mid. But right now, Resurgence is showing with their having superior rotations over their opponents.
Definitely. And you know what? We talked earlier about how they were not able to get the Zeratul pick, but Falstad is basically playing like a de facto Zeratul with the ability to fly down. Equinox caught out here. It looks like he may be going down, but no, he does manage to waddle away. Very surprised that THC was not able to pick up a kill there. Multiple people waddling away with very little help.
Yeah, and Shot's doing a really good job of isolating himself from the menu. No way, that Dragon Knight's going to go down. I thought 100% Johanna was going to get that. If you didn't see in the lower half of the map, Medic and Kael'thas were able to delay Johanna from capturing on bottom as fast as possible. Good hook there to troll Charismatic over this wall. Not going to have that much happen to it, but they delayed Johanna on the cap point knowing they had no kill potential to ensure the fact that a DK was going to go down there. Really well played from THC to try and come back here in this early game.
Definitely. And, you know, THC is really showing that they are not ready to give this up. That first game was very close, and it looks like they are here with a mission now. Charismatic taking out what he can as far as the front wall there on that middle fort, and now he's going up, helping Thrall to push into this top lane. I think they're going to be able to grab that cannon as well. At the bottom, however, it does look like the Medic is caught out. She is not going to be able to save herself, and she goes down. A great pickup there from Resurgence, although they are letting that Dragon Knight wreak havoc on their top right now.
Yeah, it is getting a lot of value on top lane, but they're going to match it in a second. And the Merc camps are actually closer to them than they are their opponents. So they're going to be losing out on too much. Tenderizer has been picked up for Stitches as is level 7, meaning that every auto attack is going to be slowing that Medic if he does manage to get onto her there. So kill potential is going to be really high against the Medic whenever a hook comes into play there. They're matching them on the upper half of the map. I would expect them to back out Killick with an aggressive flight possibly. No, it's going to be a little more passive. And THC doing a really good job there, honestly. They have managed to turn the tides of this game, even though they've been debatably getting out-rotated over their opponents.
Definitely. I really like the safe play there. As soon as they got what they could from that top, they didn't lollygag. They didn't try and push the issue on that fort. They backed off. They got their health and mana, and now it looks like they're all trying to descend on the Stitches for the gank. Rhaegar comes up to give him some heals, and looks like he is going to be able to get away with the help of that Earthbind Totem.
Even if he gets flipped, there's no follow-up CC. They've already burnt Gravity Lapse. Yeah, Nade was the only opportunity they had to get that pick there. So they ended up losing a Night Camp on top. I know that doesn't seem that much, but actually falling that far behind on rotations without getting anything out of it on Dragonshire is going to be really painful for them. The large reason for that is because when the next shrine spawns now, the lanes are going to be sieged up against them here, providing a site advantage for Resurgence and giving them a small advantage on obtaining the next map objective over their opponents. It should spawn here in the next couple of seconds, and they're going to be able to dictate the pace of this bottom lane now with top pushing, mid pushing, and bottom pushing. And here we go. Now the DK spawns. They can see the rotations from their opponents, so really well done out of Resurgence.
Certainly, and it looks like Resurgence is just going to spend some time here in the bottom lane, clean up these mercs, make sure they have plenty of push power. They're really making sure that they can secure not only the bottom shrine, but also a good push here as well. In the middle lane, we're seeing much the same. Thrall has decided to push the top lane a little bit, but I feel like they're giving up way too much with letting Thrall be up there, although he does need to be there split soaking, as they have not hit their 10 yet.
Yeah, they can get away with that only because they're level 10. That's the only time I would say that they can get away with Thrall with Falstad being separated from the team. Thrall making the smart cap up there. The hook going down, the Gorge coming out. There it is. No isolation yet, though. They aren't level 10. Medic.
Medic is actually finding herself in the midst of a bunch of people that want her dead, and they are going to get their wish. Great maw there from Zagara, catching two people, and it looks like that is going to be a 1-for-1 trade with both teams backing off here. Bottom shrine still to Resurgence, top shrine to THC, and this is going to be a battle to see who can grab this Dragon Knight.
Falstad's flying top here, so it's going to be a 1v1 Falstad against him. Keep in mind that we do see Resurgence rotating. This is really aggressive. He's going to suicide for the DK here? He's not even going to get it, though. Beautiful Gust.
Wow, that was actually really fantastic heads-up play from Killick there, knowing that he was seconds away from backup. Great use of the Gust there on a small cooldown to make sure he secures that top shrine and a kill.
Yeah, and so what came down, they did end up getting a perfect hook and gorge on the primary target, right? But one of the issues with that is that, again, none of the counter zoning CCs that stopped the Sunder from coming into play happened while the gorge was happening, allowing THC to engage on their opponents. 4 versus 1 down here. Daihu has no more escapes, but he actually, Diablo cues him right at the same time Gravity Lapse comes out. So there's going to be a counter engage here, and Daihu survives. No maw here.
Very, very close. I'm super surprised. Great heals there from the medic. It does look like they managed to pick up multiple kills here. THC doing a great job of coming back. A lot of pressure out on the medic, but she manages to survive, and now they're going to pick up a fort for their trouble.
Yeah, and that was really well played on their part. Honestly, there was not, it was just absolutely flawless. They took the advantage there. They knew they had pretty short cooldowns. They end up having Thrall staying on top lane. I would like to see them 4-man rotate. There it is going to be looking to prioritize the DK. They need one person to go top to try and help Thrall contest. Nobody's defending on mid, though, so this will be a DK. Thrall is the only person with an ultimate up right now, and he is in the DK, so at least for about 20-something seconds, they should try and avoid the team fight here. Bottom fort's already down. THC is going to be looking to siege up on this front middle wall, and that's definitely a big momentum swing here for them with that team fight. It looked like they were kind of stalemating with the gorge and everything else, but they pulled it out. They need to be very aware of that, the Stitches hook at this time.
Oh my goodness, and the follow-up Gust making sure that she has nowhere to go. Quickly dispatched. Great heads-up play there from that Stitches.
Yeah, and this new version of this composition, it's essentially what this is being ran by Resurgence, is an old school Stitches Zeratul comp where you would Stitches and then Void Prism the team as they react. But now you just, shot kicked into the turrets here.
Oh, fantastic play. Yes, Shot is trying to waddle away. In the meantime, the complete Resurgence trying to keep the attention. Great Sunder there from that Thrall as he comes out of the Dragon Knight. Manages to pick up a great kill there on that Falstad.
Yeah, that was really well done. The kick onto the Shot. Keep in mind, Shot actually survived because he laid down his E to tank for him, so really well done by that. The counter mod to protect him there. Really keep track of the cooldowns of Gorge and Falstad's Gust. They're going to be the most effective zoning tools after the Gorge comes out. But this is essentially they're running the Stitches Zeratul 2.0 comp here. Here's the hook. There's no Gorge here, but there is a Gust possibly to isolate the two. Chain Bomb now coming into play for THC. What I'd really like to see out of them is just make sure if Gust doesn't come into play, like you saw the first time they tried to gorge a target, if Sunder comes out as a counter engaged, Resurgence gonna have a hard time winning team fights with this comp.
Definitely. You know, I think that the coordination between that Stitches and the Falstad has been really fantastic, but I'm impressed with what THC has shown here. There's been multiple times where it looked like they were in the process of losing a team fight and then managed to turn it around. 1 or 2 solid ults is all it takes, and Thrall Sunder is such a game changer.
Yeah, no, Sunder plus Vala's Strafe is one of the most difficult composition or things to deal with in a game. That's just such hard engage and hard AoE burst, right? Vala's Strafe hitting 3 targets essentially sets all of them to half health. Mixed with Sunder is a lot of damage on them. 1 chain lightning and a chain bomb. There's just an absurd amount of raw damage coming out from THC's comp. But keep in mind, if they manage to avoid getting picked, they're probably going to be able to win a lot of these team fights. That's just, as long as they don't get Stitches hooked and massively zoned here, I really do have confidence in their composition.
I've noticed a big change here in the way that they're positioning. Everybody is constantly in the front line in front of the medic. Even when it doesn't look like there's any danger, they're just making sure, hey, if somebody gets hooked, it's not going to be Morales. They're doing a great job of prioritizing her safety. And they've basically made a big safety bubble for her where everywhere they go, she is constantly not the person on the front line.
I mean, you're absolutely correct. Their body language is already showing that they're trying to adjust to the composition that they're playing. That is the #1 sign of a top tier team right there. One that is in the middle of the game, understanding that what they're doing is not necessarily as good as it could be. What can they do to adjust? And even in every situation, this essentially forcing out getting a really great wall to block out everybody who might get a hook on Stitches there. Medic gonna capture on top here. I would like to see, they're going to trade forts here, bottom lane for top lane. Bottom lane is technically more effective of a trade here because of the site advantage. It provides for you over the shrines in the mid-late game. Shot understands this, automatically going for the wall. See, he knows that his team, this is beautiful from Shot. He understands that pushing on this bridge on top is potentially game-changing, right? So if they overstay on top at all, this bridge it could lose you the game. All it takes is one good play here. So they realized by sieging and forcing here first, well, not only did they push first, so they're going to be able to enable the fact that they get a keep, but watch, if they back in time and Falstad flies and Gust, that chokehold is going to be so hard to fight in. Also with the global advantage here, it's smart to trade because it gives them an advantage over possibly getting the DK here as well. So it does look like Resurgence is not going to back in time. Killick actually getting a little confused on his position to try and get the fly on top. You could see him looking for a major play there.
Definitely. And one thing that I did want to point out is it seemed like the damage was a little bit higher for THC on that keep. They got it down a lot quicker.
It just comes down to a double tank composition versus not. The sieging for Resurgence is a little bit slower, which is why that went so even. But I really do feel like they should have sent somebody to back and kind of stop their mounts to disengage. But either way, they go trade for trade. Like I said, the winning team in that trade was Resurgence, though. Now bottom lane, Catapults constantly pushing, providing sight over that bottom shrine, giving their team an advantage. So they come out on top there, Josheb.
Certainly, and it looks here that Diablo is trying to isolate. Fantastic maw from Shot there, isolating 2 people. Looks like they're going to chase down Stitches. Stitches goes down. There will be no hook and gorge now as Stitches is isolated and quickly put down. And now, Resurgence on the back foot. Fantastic gust there from Falstad, making sure that they cannot capitalize on that. For a second, it looked like that was going to be a big problem. Thrall here maybe flirting with the Sunder, but it looks like he thinks better of it, and they decided to just clear that lane for an easy push while they head over to try and grab this Dragon Knight.
Diablo is going to move into the Dragon Knight here. Falstad's trying to fly bottom. No, he isn't. Okay, so they're going to give up the ZK. So this is something I'm a little afraid of. Dragon Knight was taken by Diablo, which isn't the worst decision. One of the problems is, though, is that when Stitches spawns in 7 seconds, Diablo is one of the best hook targets. So they essentially while sieging, Stitches has the most hook opportunities, right? And then the DK. So they left the guy who can revive and has the highest health pool into the DK to possibly risk his teammates getting hooked here. I would have much rather had Vala or Kel'Thas get into it because that right there. Beautiful hook. He ends up surviving. They pop Arcane and Sunder as a counter engage, even though nothing happened there. So those are major cooldowns going to be down for this team fight if it breaks out.
Definitely. Right now, just a little bit of poke going back and forth. You know, they are trying to make sure that they protect this Dragon Knight while he does manage to get that middle keep. We do have a hook and a gorge. Gus, the Equinox, does manage to very much get Kawhi Rice in a bad spot. They don't even try and save her. Beautiful decision there from THC to cut their losses and leave. Vala screaming out, "Remember me as I was," as she is slain deep in the enemy keep. And now it is THC on the run as Resurgence trying to push that counter advantage.
Yeah, this extended hook. There we go. Another kill. Stitches is just so good in sieging composition or chasing compositions. If Kael'Thas stays a little bit too late, another hook might come into play here as well. It's going to be off a cooldown in 5 seconds here, so he's going to be all right and be able to get away here. Constantly be looking for that fishing hook attempt. 2 keeps are now taken for THC, and those picks were enough for them to try and make something happen here. They're baiting out the hooks here. See, Daihu, this is okay. So Daihu taking out that sidewall makes hooks more possible, but they pretty much just said we're looking for a hook in this drop. Do you see instantly THC backs up as far as they can? Very, very heads up play from them, understanding exactly what's going to happen there. Really well done from THC. But the double keep pushing into their opponents right now is really what separates them from their opponents. They need to be winning this race to 20. I want to make sure that THC, I really want to see them not risk anything at all. Like, not even kind of, with the Stitches that they're facing with Stitches hook and a medic in their comp. I don't want to see them risk any possible fight until they have the 20 advantage here.
Certainly. And, you know, one other thing I wanted to point out about that last Diablo death is he was bringing up the rear with Morales in front. Yes, Diablo was hooked. Yes, he died. But it could have been much worse if it was Morales, as Diablo's trait allowed him to come back immediately, making sure that they did not get to capitalize on that. If the medic had gone down, it could have been even more costly for THC.
Yeah. No, I mean, I think that was honestly a situation where they do come out ahead here. They need to be very risky. Okay, the hook's gonna come out. Diablo wears it. Awesome, really well done there. They have a chance to turn this now. The hook is off cooldown, 16 seconds. It's just every time that the hook goes down, I believe it's 16 seconds. Let me double check here. Yeah, every time the hook goes down, they have 16 seconds to make something happen. Hook down, take knights. Hook down, do something else. Really well done there, THC. They're playing this very, very well. It's a hard comp to play against. I've actually lost a lot of times to the style comp, so really well done here from THC. I love their play, and I do want to see them try and make it to 20 here in order to take a fight where they have Bolts of the Storm as an option and be able to really capitalize on the misplays out of their opponent. Falstead staying on bottom, smart choice there. He has the global. Top siege, this bridge, very high risk. Look at the hook comes out.
Just barely missing Thrall. That would have been an easy Thrall grab. He probably would have had to pop Sunder to survive that, but it looks like at the moment they are going to descend. Oh, the Wolf just barely missing Stitches. It looks like THC is extremely hungry right now, constantly looking for a pick. I would like to see them hit 20 and then very heavily engaged. It looks like Falstad has cleared up all the bottom, and he's helping that catapult to move in on the core.
Yeah, and there's 2 more catapults pushing on their opponent's base more than theirs. The Maw coming out, that's 1 zoning tool. Keep in mind, Gorge is still up here. The hook's going to come out. Shield's broken on the core. This is very risky play here. But one of their isolation tools are down. Bam. Hook's down. 16 seconds. They're going to look to make something happen here.
It looks
Keep in mind, if they run up top, that bridge is a death trap.
Wow. Diablo absolutely expounding so many cooldowns to get over there and make sure that they're able to take down that Zagara. Zagara goes down quickly. Now it's a 5v4 at the core. Here comes the Sunder from Thrall. They have Resurgence on the run. Resurgence, another 2 going down. Simply 2 people to defend here, and it looks like this is probably going to be game. Fantastic turnaround from THC. Very impressed with the way they played there at the end.